Afternoon, boomers. I'm sitting here enjoying my LaCroix sparkling beverage. This one is a hibiscus flavored. Delicious. Well, since we're all health conscious and trying to figure out what's good for us and what isn't, I decided to look into that little beverage and see if it was really as harmless as everybody says. Lo and behold, may not be. I can say that I barely survived learning that diet soda doesn't come without guilt. I was a Diet Coke hound at one point. We all thought saccharin was bad. Remember the original diet drink Tab supposedly caused bladder cancer in lab rats? Turns out it may be the best artificial sweetener of the bunch. Aspartame and sucralose and all the others may be the bad ones and having an effect on our bodies. Everybody knows that fruit juices are carb-loaded sugar bombs, and no one can decide whether or not red wine's benefits outweigh the evils. Well, I've already voted, and I've decided that red wine is in. It's my favorite. So now it turns out our precious sparkling water may not be perfect either. For Croix's sake, is nothing sacred. Next time they'll tell us the air we breathe causes cancer. In fact, they already are telling us that. A study in a peer-reviewed publication called Science Direct has hinted that carbonated beverages increase ghrelin, or is it ghrelin? It's a hormone which controls the hunger response in rats, thereby inducing weight gain and the onset of obesity in male mammals. That's us. So, a little background in diet sodas and regular sodas. We've had lots of studies out there examining how both can negatively affect your health, especially when we're talking about weight. But there haven't been many studies looking into just what the effect of plain old carbon dioxide gas is in liquid drinks that we consume. So this study, published in Obesity Research and Clinical Practice, conducted 2 experiments, one in humans and one in rats, regarding water, regular carbonated soda, diet carbonated soda, and degassed regular soda. In the rats, the researchers found that carbonation increased appetite levels but did not affect satiety levels. That means you feel full. They repeated the experiment in a group of 20 healthy 18 to 20-year-old men, but added an extra beverage, carbonated water. The human study found that any type of carbonated beverage significantly increases the ghrelin levels. Yes, even our beloved plain carbonated water. Those who drink plain carbonated water had ghrelin levels 6 times higher than those drinking regular water. They had 3 times higher level than those drinking degassed sodas. So what the heck is ghrelin? Sounds like a gremlin critter. In fact, it's commonly known as the hunger hormone. It's released primarily by the stomach and intestines and stimulates your appetite. Ghrelin rises when the stomach is empty and falls when you are full, but levels can also be affected by lots of other factors. Studies have shown that lack of sleep, stress, and extreme dieting can make ghrelin levels rise. Exercise, rest, and muscle mass can decrease ghrelin levels. Generally, when your ghrelin levels are high, you feel hungrier and are more likely to eat more. Scientists believe this can increase your risk of obesity. Duh. They figured that out. That eating more increases your chance of obesity. Bring me a pizza. So does this really affect my love affair with LaCroix? The study found a significant difference in ghrelin levels between men drinking water and men drinking sparkling water. But the study was small, short, and didn't directly tie LaCroix to weight gain. The UK's National Health Society also reported that this study has raised points worth exploring. In other words, don't take this study as final word. It's not the end yet. When findings would need to be replicated before we completely ditch LaCroix, there's still other factors stacked against this drink, such as their fabulous naturally sweet flavor. At the end of the day, your brain and gut may respond to the sweet taste and react accordingly, causing a craving for something that wasn't there. If a certain cerise limon flavor reminds you of candy, it could potentially make you crave and seek candy. This is just for those of you who are weak. The taste hungry effect can be seen in cases of savory food, too. One study found that enhancing the flavor of savory foods for older adults increases their food intake. Did you hear that? Enhancing the flavor of savory food increases your food intake. If it's delicious, you'll eat more of it. Who figured that out? Nevertheless, there's no direct link that connects LaCroix to weight gain. So, here's what they're saying. This is the recommendations. Drink it in moderation. Be aware of how much you're eating while drinking it. Opt for plain, unflavored carbonated water. And get plenty of old, flat water, too. So, while I was doing this, I wanted to go back and look at the artificial sweetener deal. I've heard so many things about all of these. And in a 1998 survey conducted by the Calorie Control Council reported that 144 million American adults routinely eat and drink low-calorie, sugar-free products such as desserts and artificially sweetened sodas. That means more than half of us. Now, the FDA has approved 5 artificial sweeteners. Acesulfame potassium, which is Sunnit, aspartame, which is NutraSweet or Equal, sucralose, which is Splenda, that's the yellow pack, Equal is the blue pack, D-tagatose, I've never heard of this, it's sugary, and saccharin, which is Sweet and Low in the pink pack. Now, you may be surprised to see saccharin on that list. It was discovered in 1879, and it's 300 times sweeter than sugar. It was used during World War I and II to make up for sugar shortages and rationing. In the 70s, the FDA was going to ban saccharin based on reports of a Canadian study that showed that saccharin was causing bladder cancer in rats. A public outcry kept it on the shelves because it was the only other sugar substitute at the time. Thank goodness. But with a warning label that said, the use of this product may be hazardous to your health. This product contains saccharin, which has been determined to cause cancer in laboratory animals. That warning label is no longer needed. Further research showed that male rats have a particular pH factor that predisposes them to bladder cancer, which may be, and plus they were giving them gobs and, tons of it. So what may be true for male rats does not necessarily hold true for humans, or even female rats for that matter. Hence, no more warning labels for saccharin. A lot of things that cause harm in animals don't always cause harm in humans. Like saccharin, aspartame is another sweetener that, though tested thoroughly by the FDA and deemed safe for the population, has had its share of critics who blame it for causing everything from brain tumors to chronic fatigue syndrome. This study that we're talking about here says that's not true. The only people for whom aspartame is a medical problem are those with a genetic condition known as PKU, which is a disorder of the amino acid metabolism. I can't even say it, so I've never heard of it. So there's probably not many people that fall into that one. Some people can be sensitive to sweeteners and experience symptoms such as headaches and upset stomach, but otherwise there's no credible information that aspartame or any other artificial sweetener causes brain tumors or any other illness, says registered dietitian Wendy Vida with Health Place, the Health and Wellness Division of Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield in Pittsburgh. She says that sweeteners are so much sweeter than sugar, a very small amount is needed to achieve the same sweetness one gets from sugar. If used normally, the amounts you take in are so minuscule as to be of no concern at all. Well, that's good news. Another sweetener receiving much publicity of late is my favorite, which is stevia. This is an herbal sweetening ingredient used in food and beverages by South American natives for centuries and in Japan since the mid-70s. According to Ray Sahalan, author of the Stevia Cookbook, it's shown no significant side effects after more than 20 years' use in Japan. There's no indication at this point that, from any source, that stevia has shown toxicity in humans, says the doc, though he agrees that further research is warranted. Because stevia is not FDA approved, it cannot be sold as an artificial sweetener. However, it can be and is sold as a dietary supplement. It's all in the wording. Because these supplements are not regulated as well as those that have received FDA approval, they have no guarantee of purity. This is a product that's just asking for good research studies, says the doctor. We just don't know enough yet. I say bullshit. I like stevia. I think it's the best thing to use for sweetener, artificial sweetener. Though there are a number of people that are quick to point out what they believe are the dangers of artificial sweeteners, others think they may actually have beneficial properties, apart from reducing calorie intake and managing diabetes. Researchers at the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation, for example, have found in several preliminary studies that aspartame is especially effective in relieving pain associated with osteoarthritis, multiple sclerosis, and sickle cell anemia. So, there you go. You got arthritis? Suck down some Diet Cokes. Whether artificial sweeteners are shown in the future to have therapeutic effects remains to be seen, says Dr. Kava. For now, though, their main purpose is to help people reduce caloric intake and or control diabetes. If you don't need to watch your calories or your blood sugar, there's no real reason to use the sweeteners unless you just happen to like the taste. Well, duh, isn't that the reason that anybody uses them? But if you need to control your calorie and sugar intake, artificial sweeteners are a safe, effective way to do that. So the verdict, Croix might be free of artificial flavors, sodium, and calories, but the study hints that it isn't likely as perfect as we thought it to be. So as loud as that blackberry cucumber can is calling your name, try reaching for plain water or limit your intake, or not. Sparkling water may be a significantly better beverage option than alcohol, soda, or juice. Sometimes, though, a glass of red wine is simply called for. It seems like everything these days is dangerous, so we might as well enjoy life while we can. So I say, drink up, Shriners. That's it from Boomer Life. Have a good one.